This is a bill which attempts to implement a number of recommendations of the Fines Reform Advisory Board. Now, of course, the Fines Reform Advisory Board was established because of the complete debacle, and that's not putting any spin on it, it was a complete debacle of the implementation of fines reform in this state. We've seen the impact of the mistakes that have been made on a lot of Victorians. We've seen people lose their driver's licences incorrectly because of the failures of this government under fines reform. We've seen dead people being sent fines because of the failures of this government under fines reform.
This is a really important initiative because it's about trying to make sure that we recognise that digital will be everything into the future. Like digital in terms of service delivery, in terms of interface, is going to be something that's going to be quite profound in the way in which public administration is delivered and discharged in the state.
I recently had some complaints from two real estate agents in my electorate, both of whom had copped fines for failing to comply with COVID directions. In both circumstances, they were simply that their COVID plan on the wall of the office wasn't fully filled in. So for this so-called egregious breach of the COVID rules, not having a COVID density quotient up on the window, these businesses both copped $10,900 fines.
Really interested as well how we support better consideration of people with special or exceptional circumstances when they are fined, such through fines that are either withdrawn or cancelled.
Written off by the state government because they're being too hard to recoup, and it comes because the Auditor General has slammed the government's rollout of the infringement enforcement and said the system was effectively poorly developed. A software that the government then tried to create are poorly developed. So this government doesn't learn from their mistakes of trying to reinvent the wheel, create a piece of software.
The four objectives of fines reform being centralised collection and enforcement, stronger enforcement mechanisms, better support for the vulnerable and disadvantaged, which is very important to me, and enhanced review and oversight processes. In doing so, this government is directly addressing recommendation 1 of the board's report, establishing a common understanding of the fine system across policy, stakeholders and indeed the broader community.
Ideally, fines shouldn't be issued in the first place because people should do the right thing. People don't always do the right thing, fines are collected, but that also enables, that revenue stream enables governments to do other things for our community as well.
Of the 24 recommendations made by the Fines Advisory Board, we've already fully or partially implemented 8. This work has seen a range of measures funded and implemented to support vulnerable and disadvantaged Victorians experiencing hardship. It includes facilitating payment plans to help reduce the financial impact on people who may not be able to afford that single payment.
Unlike income tax, Victoria's fine scheme is regressive. Financial penalties are felt relatively the hardest by the poorest and least by the most wealthy. But what's most urgent is that we introduce a concessional infringement rate scheme now as our state deals with rising costs emerging from war, climate change and the pandemic.